Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Accu-Stats Video Productions, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2015 Make-It-Happen One-Pocket Invitational. Thanks, everybody. We are live here in the Aramis-Simonis Arena at Sandcastle Billiards in Edison, New Jersey, the home of Accu-Stats Video Productions and the home of the Make-It-Happen series. We're in Make It Happen Series number 6. This is our second go-around for One-Pocket, and once again, we've reached out to you, our loyal fans, to select the players to represent themselves well here. You've done that again. We've got 4 champions back from our last Make It Happen series, along with 2 new young guns, and you're going to see one of them again coming up here momentarily. All of our matches during the round-robin format here are race to 3 games, and the winner of each match receives $1,000. Once we've concluded the round-robin play, 15 matches, that will conclude after the 7 p.m. round on Sunday. We will then take the players with the 2 best overall records, and they will have a 1-match playoff, not only for an additional $1,000, but for the right to call themselves 2015 Make It Happen One-Pocket Champion. We're playing on the best equipment in the business, as always, a diamond table with pro-cut pockets, Simonis 860, and Aramis balls. Once again, we'd like to express our gratitude to those great companies for their extended sponsorship of the Make It Happen series. And lastly, before we introduce our players, I want to once again, on behalf of our champions, on behalf of all the staff here at Sandcastle and the Accu-Stats team, say thank you to each and every one of you out there watching around the world, and to each and every one of you here that have so graciously come to watch live at ringside. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Once again, you've all made it happen. Okay, thank you. This will be the final match of the evening. We'll return at noon tomorrow to resume play, but right now it's my pleasure to introduce the competitors for match number 8. Our first player is from Toronto, Canada. This gentleman won the inaugural Make It Happen 8-Ball Invitational several years ago. He's also a former Party Poker Masters champion, and he holds Canadian national championships in 8-ball, 9-ball, and snooker. Truly one of the most versatile players in the history of our sport, and certainly destined for induction into the Hall of Fame. He's sponsored by Billiards Sports and AlexPagulayan.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the smallest man with the biggest heart. It's the Lion. Please welcome Alex Pagulayan. Thank you. And his opponent, making his debut this week at the Make It Happen series, and we're thrilled to have him with us, undefeated so far, from Toledo, Ohio. He's a 3-time defending One-Pocket Fight Night champion. He's a former Music City Open champion, and this year at the Derby City Classic, he won the prestigious Louis Roberts Action and Entertainment Award. His nickname is the Shredder, and that's because he's either going to shred his opponent or he's going to shred his bankroll. And that's a quote from him. I didn't make that up. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Danny Smith. Okay, your referee in charge of this match is Carswell Ransom. Your official timekeeper is Julie Ha. Your official photographer, Carl Kantrowitz. And it's my pleasure now to turn it over to the booth, to the voice of Accu-Stats, Billy Incardona, and a very special guest, the freezer, Mr. Scott Frost.
Holy moly.
Billy Incardona here, along with Scott Frost, a good friend of mine, and also one of the best one-pocket players in the world today. Well, Scott, this is an interesting match. Danny Smith surprisingly has 2 wins, but he has yet to lose. Alex Pagulayan, whom you know very well, has 2 losses, and he has not won a match so far. I really like the way Smith has been playing. He played you in the last match. Well, I don't know, was it the last match you played?
No, the second to
Yeah,
last.
second to last. And he defeated you 3-2, and I thought he played extremely well in that match. And but he certainly got his hands full here with Pagulayan.
Yeah, I mean, Billy, we know in a race to 3, anything can happen, but I think it's a close match right now, the way Danny's playing. Obviously, Alex and I had a battle a while back, and it's maybe taken a little bit out of him. It certainly took a little bit out of me, but I expect it to be a close match.
Well, the way the balls were broken, it looks like they can kick to the 10. But the problem with kicking to the 10 is you're going to expose the 9. Therefore, you may have to come off the 9 and then position the cue ball underneath the 10.
That's exactly right. What he could do is roll the 9 to the bottom rail. Right?
Either roll to the bottom rail or bank it maybe where the cue ball or around that area where the cue ball is.
Yeah, that's not bad
or
either.
at least that high.
Right. What Billy says is he's talking about banking the 9 up above the 3 and 13 so that they don't have a bank on that ball playing the cue ball below the 10 and 1. He could find something more creative than that, but I don't see it. I mean, he does have a shot on the 15 and 6 where he could stick his cue ball, but he doesn't know where the 6 is going to go. And to me on the screen, it looks like the 6 is coming back into the stack close to the cue ball, so he's going to really be risking it shooting that shot. He does have a shot here to play the cue ball up in the top right-hand corner pocket on your screen. He would be doubled up. Right?
Yeah, but he better hit that shot perfectly, or else he's going to allow Pagulayan to see the 1. And if he allows Pagulayan to see the 1, then he could get some balls there.
I agree.
So that shot is pretty risky. I don't think it's worth the risk.
Look at this shot. He's looking at... Okay, he's going to shoot your shot, which is the safest shot and the easiest to execute. Okay, he shot my shot. It wasn't laying good enough to shoot your shot, obviously.
Well, either shot would suffice as long as he protects the 9 and doesn't leave Pagulayan.
Right.
A power shot with the 9 into the stack or else
exactly.
into the stripe on the rail. That shot was actually a better shot because now he's just about taking away the soft kick into the rack with that shot.
He has, and Billy means by that is it looks to me like he's snookered into kicking the pack, which he is. He might be snookered from kicking behind the 9. If you look on the... No, he's not. Got a good view of it there. Well, you couldn't hit that much better. You couldn't hit that much better at all.
Well, he hit the rail right before the ball, and that's why the cue ball went up table as far as it did. Had he hit the ball first, I think the cue ball would have then went into the stack. That would have been probably a better hit, and he would have gotten better results.
I don't know about doing anything with this 4 ball unless he's trying to come behind the 10.
He would like to go to the rail maybe and just clip the 1. Maybe knock the 1 out of that area. If he can hit the 4 thinly and then hit the 1.
I don't like that. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to come behind the 10 like this. But he didn't hit it good.
Well, he wanted to put the 4 on his side. That's why he shot it the way he did, and he actually mishit it because he's allowed Pagulayan at the table with a very thin cut on the 10.
Oh, he's definitely making this ball. Cue ball. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, look at this. Look at this. Everything got tied up. The 2 and 1 have blocked the pocket for Alex. The 11 does not pass. I've got a great view of that.
He can always shoot the 7 into the 2.
I like that shot for sure, right? And drawing, what are you talking about? Drawing the cue ball behind the 8?
Yeah, either use the 8 as a blocker or try to do something differently, but I think the 8 as a blocker is pretty convenient.
And what Billy means, I mean, you have to do that because those balls are never going to get moved unless you do it.
And since he's opened those balls up, now Smith got to be very, very selective on what shot he chooses to shoot here.
But I guarantee
all
he's
balls
happy
are
he's at
opened.
the table, Billy. I can guarantee you that. You couldn't bet your money that Alex was getting one from there.
He could bank the
11 into the 1.
into the 1,
Playing the cue ball up.
playing the cue ball up table, doubling him up with the 14.
I like that shot if he's got room to hit below the 2.
Now on this shot here, you play more cue ball.
I don't know that he's got room to do that, Billy.
I think that he does.
I think he's banking it into the 2. Yeah, he banked it into the 2, and I mean, what was he going to do there?
Well, he thought that the
Oh, was going to clear it.
yeah. He thought the 11 was going to go into the 2 and then into the 1. Then he would have cleared everything from the side.
Well, I'm willing to bet Alex gets more than one here. He can either play position on the 7, which he did.
I don't know how much he
Right.
can do after he pockets the 7. It looks like he's going to brush the 9.
He's going to play the 3-2. But I don't know what he's going to get after that. You're right, he is going to touch the 9 if he shoots this 7 ball.
And if he touches the 9, it's going to probably send the cue ball in a direction that he doesn't want it to go in. And that's on the other side of the 2.
I don't like shooting the 9 or the 7 here at all. I like playing the combination and drawing your cue ball into the 8. Or even going forward if you're sure you're going to make it.
Yeah, I think he can afford to go forward on this shot, play the combination, go into the 8, and I believe the cue ball will then go into the 12. Nothing goes in Smith's pocket.
He won't even touch the 8 if he goes forward.
You don't think so?
No. He won't touch the 8.
You were right. He didn't touch the 8.
But now what? Now what?
Well, it looks like he's going to shoot the 14 and accept a cut on the 12.
Ooh-wee. I don't like that shot.
No, he doesn't like it either, but I think he's going to end up shooting it.
He's not. The 12 is too far out, and the angle's too straight for him to get a shot on the 12 next, I think. He's looking for a bank next.
Well, he'll take a look at it at least, and then decide. Now he'll take a look at
Yeah,
it.
he's looking for the bank, Billy.
He'll look at the 12. He should walk around the table and look at the 12 because I think that, he hits the edge of the ball so well that he has to take a look at it.
He's not looking at it because the problem is the 12 is going into the 3. I mean, the cue ball's going into the 3 if he cuts it. He's got a clear bank here, which is much better.
Well, if he's got an open pocket, which he did, then that shot obviously is the better of the 2 shots. He can pocket the 7, then the cue ball will once again hit the 9. This time I think it's going to go toward the 3. There's no guarantee he's going to come away with the shot here either.
I agree. There's nothing wrong with banking the 4 and sticking the cue ball on the side rail, but if you do, you don't want to leave Danny Smith a bank. Him being down in this game, Danny Smith could bank at that 6 if Alex decides to bank the 4 towards his pocket. He's shooting at the 7. I think the cue ball is going to come around. I bet he gets a shot here, and if not, he's going to get a bank on the 9. Okay, you were right, Billy. It went into the 3.
Okay, he's got 6 balls now. He's got a pretty commanding lead with 6-0. So therefore, he has the luxury now to choose and be quite selective on what shot he chooses.
Well, he can play a safe here, but he could bank the 3 and double him up on the 6-4-9. I mean, like where he's putting the cue now.
I don't like that shot because he can go rail first and make the 9. The 9's about a quarter of an inch off the rail.
So you like pushing him up table,
Oh,
clipping
absolutely.
the 12 and playing the cue off froze on
I
the
like
bottom
going up table with and I'd start with my 12 ball on my side.
Right. This is good too if he keeps him off the bank. That's fine. I would have clipped the 12. And he's got all the balls in play for Danny now with that shot. I think clipping the 12 would have been better. you can expect Danny to get aggressive real soon because he's behind in the ball count, and you folks out. He's probably getting aggressive right now.
Now, Danny, and I mentioned this in the past, elevates as well as anyone.
He does
in the game.
He does. He's going to play the cue ball behind the 12. Yeah.
Notice how beautifully he elevates.
Well, it looks good.
He may have gotten a little bit too aggressive with that shot. Even though he is elevated as well as he does, I don't know if that was the correct shot in this situation because all balls are in play. He could have probably found another shot. All balls are in play. And
I agree. I thought he was going to cross the 12 and go into the 3 with the cue ball because he wasn't going to leave a shot doing that. This left. I mean, Alex is a big favorite. I think. Okay.
Well, I don't blame Alex for not going for the pocket there because if he missed it, he would have left the return bank on the 12.
Right.
Now all balls go in Smith's pocket, and Pagulayan is actually betting that he makes the bank.
Look at what he's got here, though. He's going to be banking this 12 towards the hole, and the cue ball will be traveling towards the 3. Right?
I think he's going to be doing that. I don't know if the cue ball is going to hit the 3.
It's definitely going to hit the 3. He's playing the cue ball into the 3.
I don't know about that.
He's going to overcut the 12 into the 13 is what I'm saying. If you notice, the 11 and 15 do not go in Alex's pocket.
If he hits the 3, the cue ball is going to go toward that upper corner pocket.
No, he's going to hit the center of the 3. Just like that. Just like that. Well, he doubled himself up, I think. I don't think this... Does a 6 go?
No, I don't believe the 6 goes.
I liked banking the previous ball that Alex decided to play safe on because he clearly didn't defend himself correctly.
He's looking at the spot ball, trying to cut it into the pocket.
Well, what about billiard? I mean, he might be trying to play it off.
No, the camera looks like it's gonna go wide. The bank's on, but the cue ball suspect. He doesn't.
Cue ball's very suspect.
He doesn't have the ability to control the cue ball with the bank, so therefore, that may not even be an option. It's certainly not a viable one.
Well, listen, he's behind 6 balls to nothing. He's going all out here, banking this with low. He's playing to make this.
And he's
playing
to
make this. Yes.
Draw it toward the 4.
Yes, and that's what I liked. Well, Alex got a bank on the 8, but he's in trouble here. He's also got a bank on the 6 if he can lay him on that top rail.
Yeah, and that's the shot I like. I think this is it's a risk management shot. You bank the 6, you position the cue ball at the other end of the table, utilizing the 8, 4, and the 9 as blockers for the 3. And I don't think Smith can afford to shoot that type of a combination to the 3 while the 6 is in front of the pocket. I think banking the 6 to the pocket is clearly the correct shot.
I agree 100%. Alex has no balls working for him. Okay, I like this shot too. He's playing the cue ball under the 3. This is a good shot. He needs to move these balls.
Now, yeah, I think banking the 6 is a better shot.
Okay.
It's so much easier to execute, and you know you're going to get good results.
I agree. If he gets it close, Danny's going to have to move that ball.
He's going to have to move the ball, and then when you get back to the table, you're going to be able to do something pretty good.
Much better than what he had.
Absolutely, yeah. That was the correct shot.
Well, that's the only ball that Alex has going for him. Danny can kick 1 rail below the 6, running it to his side of the table, sending the cue ball back up somewhere around where it is now.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Danny go out for the spot ball here, or the ball below the spot ball. I would do that if I were he, because he's such a great ball striker. Back cutting this 11 ball isn't that big of a deal for him.
He's going to back cut the top ball.
Either the top ball or the bottom ball. Maybe the top ball don't have a full pocket.
Right. It looks like it does on the screen, and Billy's talking about taking care of the 6 at the same time. You can definitely move the 6 out shooting this shot. This is a big shot here. He can win the game on this shot. He can win the game on
Right.
this shot.
That was definitely the shot. And he strikes balls so well, Scott. You know that.
Yes, he does.
I mean,
I think the biggest weakness in Danny's game, which he and I have talked a lot about lately, is his decision-making at times. But he's working on that, and I'm actually very proud of him for that.
actually, I had a talk with, and also he has a powerful stroke as well. I had a talk with Danny Smith before this match began. We were outside sitting around, and he was saying to me that he plays too aggressive. He understands it. He says for the past several years he's been playing just too aggressively, and he said that back home he's spotting people a lot of balls more than he should, just to practice up on his defensive game. He said, and it's really starting to pan out for me. He says, I'm really enjoying playing more defense. He says my game's gotten a lot stronger, and it's been evidenced here because his record here in this tournament is 2-0. And he's beaten some of the best players in the world doing it. He's going to steal this first game because he had the ability to come with that shot. Big ball striker.
I've got about 3 pages of messages in my phone, Billy, from about, it was right after New Orleans, and I told him he can't continue to do this. He also roomed with me in a major tournament in Des Moines, a one-pocket tournament, and I knocked him out of that tournament. And I said, if you want to take advantage of your talent, you can't continue to give games away the way you do and make poor decisions. So he asked me what I thought he could do, and this is for people at home too. If you've got talent and you don't know the defensive part of the game that well, force yourself to play it. Find a way to do it. There's always ways to learn the up-table game. There's always ways to learn two-way shots.
I like what he did there.
Absolutely.
He ended up with a very clumsy angle on the stripe that he just pocketed it. Rather than to take a chance and send the cue ball out of line, he took the cross-corner bank on the 6. He likes the angle. He likes the shot. He wins game number 1.
Well, Alex lost from banking the 6, Billy.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that was the part of the shot that I really didn't recognize what he was doing. In other words, banking the 6, he was actually challenging Smith to come with a shot.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I didn't realize those 2 balls passed. I thought the only ball that passed was the lower ball. If Alex would have shot the shot he originally thought about shooting, he puts both of those balls out of play, plays the cue ball down below the 3, and now we got a different game.
Absolutely. In retrospect, as you look back over it, I would definitely pass on banking the 6 because of that exact reason.
Okay, we got a replay of what Danny just did. He hit it real pure. He had a whole pocket. Well, he hit the lower end of the pocket, but he hit it as good as he had to hit it.
Okay, Pagulayan has a shot on the 3. He'll then draw the cue ball and stick him on the 8. Hopefully he'll end up with a ball on his side.
Wow. Very good shot there. Well, I can attest to this, Billy, and you can too, because you watched 90% of Alex and myself's match. He has plenty of heart, and he has 0 give up. So no matter what Danny does to him, he's coming right back at you.
Actually, going into this tournament, I made you and Alex a favorite because of this play in Las Vegas. I watched the entire thing, and both you guys really played great in Las Vegas, and I thought, with all that play under your belts coming into this tournament, you guys were in pretty good stroke, and I made both you and Pagulayan the favorites in this tournament. And you let me down. You never won a match.
Yeah, well,
and neither is he.
Yeah, I know.
And you guys are 0-5.
Well, I can tell you one thing. The equipment's different. There were really tight pockets where we're at. Brand new cloth. This equipment's great. There's nothing wrong with this equipment. It's just different, okay? There's humidity here. It was dry there. I'm not making excuses, but there's a lot of differences. We're playing races to 3, too.
And look what he's trying here.
This is crazy.
Well, you know what he may be doing here?
He's cutting the 9.
He's winding up like he's really cutting. Look at this.
Oh, it looks like one of my shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly, you know.
I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but I have to. I've scratched off fluke balls about at least once a match since I've been here, and it's cost me every game and then some. But now Alex is back at the table. I didn't like that shot he shot, but he executed it really well.
After he shot the shot and after he hit it as cleanly as he did, I can't argue that it was the wrong shot because we all have our way of playing, and we know what we can make. We know how well we hit certain shots.
I agree.
He must have really liked that shot. You know, he cuts the ball so well.
He does.
I mean, probably as well as anybody in the game today. So he hits the edge of the ball as cleanly as any player can.
I don't know if I like shooting the 4 here. Wow. I didn't like shooting that ball. I didn't like shooting the 4 there, Billy. He could have played the 3 next if he put the cue ball on the left-hand rail, left hand on your screen. He could have played the 3 next. This is a steep cut, and the problem with this cut is he's got to hit it thin without any English. I don't like this. What's going to happen here?
Well, he's got the 9, but
Yeah,
after
but look
the
at these
9,
balls.
after the 9, he's going to be hard-pressed to come up with a shot other than the 10. And to come up with a shot on the 10, he's going to have to hit the 9 with a medium soft speed. And in doing so, he's going to decrease the accuracy of the shot because of the speed that he hits the shot with.
Well, forget about that. He hit it as good as he could. I think the 8 has a pocket.
I don't know if it does.
I bet it does.
Well, he played the position over there, so it better have a pocket. And the way he's walking around the table, it doesn't appear that it does have a pocket.
Well, if it doesn't have a pocket, he can still play the cue ball. He can roll it up to it. He definitely has room to roll it up to it.
He's shaking his head.
He's shaking his head.
Now, if he had a pocket, I don't think he'd be doing all the things that he's doing out there. His body language is telling me he doesn't have a pocket.
Okay, well then he could play it off the 10 and play the cue ball behind the 7.
Behind a 14.
It had a pocket, Billy. It did. I was looking on the screen. I knew it had a pocket.
Well, the theatrics must have been, how am I going to play position?
Yeah, well, the theatrics, I faded the theatrics for 5 days.
Please. I mean, you got to act of your own, you know.
I guess we all have an act.
Yeah. But you know what? That's part of the game. That's part of the game.
Look at this. He's playing trick shots now. He made 2 in 1 shot. Well, Alex should have won game number 1, and it looks to me like he's going to win game number 2, and I take that back. He shouldn't have won game number 1. Danny Smith won game number 1, and he earned it.
You know, these guys execute so well. It's unbelievable.
Yes, they are.
They are tops in their field in terms of executing. And that's game number 2. It goes to Pagulayan. He ties up the match 1 game apiece.
So Alex has lost 2 matches. I've lost 3 matches. Danny's won 2 matches.
Yeah. Efren Reyes is 2-0.
I don't want to hear about Efren.
Oh, well, you're going to have to hear about him because that's the way it is. I mean, he's playing pretty good pool at the age of 61.
I love him.
Or 62
I
years
respect
of
him
age.
more than anybody
Right?
on the planet. I love him to death.
Okay, then give the man his dues then.
I dog my brains
Don't
out.
tell me how much you love him and then just give him a backhand. Tell the man, tell the people how well the guy plays at 61 years old.
He's the best player to ever live, and at his age, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing.
Corner ball, the 1 ball came out. Danny, being a right-handed player, can certainly reach this shot and spin it in if he chooses so.
Absolutely.
And this is the type of a shot that he loves shooting. He loves to put extreme English and cut balls thinly. And this is that type of a shot. But the cue ball is suspect.
The cue ball touches the 8, he's in big trouble. He wants to cut this ball and not catch the 8.
Then he can't spin it in then.
because if he catches the 8, what happens is the cue ball's going up table, pushing the 8 towards Alex's side, and he's not going to have a good shot. Now, if he can cut the 1 and go into the 4 or 3, there's a possibility of getting another shot.
But I don't think he's going to play it in that fashion. I think he's going to spin it. And if he plays it by spinning it, I would think twice about shooting it.
I don't think he has to spin it that well. He is spinning it. If he catches the 8, he's in big trouble. Yeah. Well,
He played to go under the 8 exactly the way it came out, but he wanted the cue ball to travel a little bit further so he can come up with the shot. He had a good idea, but he just didn't hit it hard enough. Perhaps if he would have hit it harder, he may have even scratched.
if that's that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. That's why he decided not to hit it too hard.
Okay, it's imperative for him when he banks the 6 to open up balls on his side. He must open up balls on his side here.
What do you do here? Do you bank this and punch forward under those balls, or do you pull the cue ball down below the 12?
Yeah, I just play it natural and go below the 12, but I must open up balls on my side. That'll stop a lot of nonsense that Pagulayan is probably going to do to him if he doesn't open up balls on his side.
Well, look at this. He played the cue ball too good. He's cutting this ball.
I don't think it's cuttable.
He's cutting this ball.
It's not cuttable.
He's cutting this ball.
I think...
I cut these balls all the time.
Yeah.
You've seen it over and over. He's cutting this ball.
The guy at the butcher shop to cut your roast beef, don't cut balls this thin. Don't cut that meat that thin.
Billy.
There's no chance of him cutting this ball.
I'll bet we can't gamble. We're
Well,
online.
the way he's addressing the table, it looks like he is.
Duh. There's a
Well,
reason I'm in the booth with you.
I think he's got to back up off of this shot. This is not
Are
the
you
time.
crazy? I'll lay you 2-1 he makes it.
Okay, if he cuts his ball, he's going to scratch 2 cushions on the side.
Wait a minute. You can't even set 2 cushions on the side.
Well, I didn't know it was that easy of a cut.
Oh. Okay. Well, we make a good team, Bill. Well,
Yeah, from my vantage point, it didn't even look
you
like
have
it
the
was,
same
it didn't
vantage
even
point
look like
as
it was
I do,
possible.
Billy. You have the same vantage point
You
as I
happen
do.
to be a little taller than me. And more aggressive. Now, he's not going to like that too much.
I don't think he's going to dislike it. I mean, he was in a spot where he had no shot at all. He plays a ball, off another ball. It goes in. He back cuts the 12. He gets a shot on the 2. Now he's shooting the 8. I don't think he's unhappy. Like, what is he thinking? I got a terrible
Well, I'm not
roll.
saying that he's unhappy about what just transpired, but where he left the cue ball.
The cue ball is going to, I think he's all right. I mean, if he doesn't get a shot, he's still in a much better spot where he was. He's going to make this ball. I jinxed it. And Alex will cut this ball.
It's not often that Smith leaves the table off of a miss. When he leaves the table, it's usually off of a misplayed move, an offensive move,
And that's
because he
what I'm saying
doesn't miss
earlier.
very many balls.
He executes shots very well. And I'm surprised he actually hit that shot the way he did. Alex doesn't like this. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, he can't reach it. Number 2, it's straight in.
Yeah, if he uses the bridge, he's either have to
He's
draw
so
it
good.
straight back, or he could play position for the bank.
He's so good with the bridge. I can attest to that. He made so many unbelievable shots with the bridge in our match in Las Vegas. It was amazing to see, actually.
As most Canadians are.
Well, he's not a very tall guy either. I mean, I'm twice his height. So I'm sure he's probably used it a few times in his career.
If you're good with the bridge, you come back, but you make the ball. If you're not that adept with the bridge, and you play for the bank on the 13. Well, he's good with the bridge, but he missed the ball. How do you figure that?
They were actually talking our match in Vegas. He never missed a ball with the bridge, and the pockets were very small. Now Danny Smith is going to run.
Well, the balls aren't positioned or laying that well for him to run
the
many.
8 here. He needs 4. I would shoot the 8 first here. I don't know about that. Did you like that decision? I like the 8 more on that shot, right?
I really didn't notice what ability he had with shooting the 8 and then the 13.
Well, if he elects to go into the balls that are grouped up there, he could come into some trouble.
Yeah, he should. He's better off just playing for the position on the bank of
Right.
the 14.
That's right. I don't know about that. He's got no angle to bank the 15.
Well,
I don't understand that shot.
I don't know how much of the 5 he can hit. I mean, he can always move the 5 to hit side rail,
He can't.
secure the cue ball in the stack if he has the ability to hit the 5.
I don't believe he can do that, Billy. It's close.
You know, he certainly don't have a bank on the 15. He's off angle for that shot. And, it doesn't. It looks like he played himself out of the line for any shot. So he's going to have to do something real simple and just position the cue ball behind the 11 possibly.
He could have slow spun and banked the 11, or he could have just pocketed the 8 and banked the 14, like you say. And I thought those were one of the 2 shots he was going to elect to shoot. Obviously, neither one happened. He didn't think about what was going to happen. He just played the ball to make it. The cue ball ends up on this side rail, and he's got to be very careful because all these balls are in play, and he's playing one of the best shot makers to ever play the game.
And he's got to be very careful with his aggression right here. Matter of fact, now that I mentioned that, let me mention one other thing real quick. There's a friend of ours that has a book. His name is Tom Worth. It's
Absolutely.
called A Game One-Pocket, A Game of Controlled Aggression. It's a fantastic book, and it's certainly
Well, that was a good shot.
certainly teaches you how to play a controlled, aggressive game. And since One-Pocket has become an aggressive game, this is the type of a book that I would really strongly advise anyone out there that likes to play One-Pocket to pick up.
Yeah,
A Game of Controlled Aggression.
I'm endorsing that book as well. Thanks to you and Tom asking me. And from what you've said, I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but it's a very good book, and Billy's telling the truth here. If you get a chance, you need to check this book out. Well, what's he doing with the cue ball here? He is playing really poorly.
Maybe he needs to pick up the book too.
Well, he didn't play like that for 5 days.
Alex hasn't really played his game in this tournament, and neither have you, by the way. And so, you know, he's 0-2, and the matches that he's played, he's only won 1 game in 2 matches. I'm not considering the game that he's won in this match. That was the 2nd game he's won
In this
in
tournament.
2+ matches, right? But you've won some games. You've lost 2 matches on the hill, and then your last match.
Yeah, I missed 2 straight-in balls to beat Efren, Hill. And then against Danny, it was pretty brutal.
Well, that'll
that
put
is
Danny on
brutal.
the hill for this particular game.
Now, whose break is it next, Billy?
He needs, I believe it's going to be Pagulayan's break next.
Yeah, Alex does not look like the same player to me.
It's going to hang.
No, it's not going to hang. Yes, it is going to hang.
So he's forced to follow it in.
Has a score of 7. Mr. Pagulayan has 1.
All balls are obviously in play, gathered around the foot spot. So he's going to have to follow in the 5. I don't even know what he's looking at.
He's looking to see what happens when the 5 comes up.
It doesn't matter what happens when
I
the 5
agree.
comes up.
I agree, but that's what
no
he's
matter
looking
what happens
at.
when the 5 comes up, he has to shoot that shot.
I agree. I'm just responding to your question.
If anything, he shouldn't be looking at anything to tip off his opponent. In other words, point his stick and this and that. Let his opponent figure out what's available. Just do what you need to do, and the only thing available to do. Sorry I'm being so critical, but that's just me.
Well, the 9 came down to where he has, I believe, a shot. And 9 looks like it's not very. It doesn't look like it's centered to me on this line. But maybe that's just the way that stripe is.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's leaning to the left slightly.
It does.
But I'm sure that Conrad put it where it was supposed to be put. He figures to pocket this ball.
Conrad. All right, Mr. Smith wins game number 3. The score being 2-1, Danny Smith. And it's Danny's break, Billy.
Well, it was a big game for Smith to win, because I mentioned before, he's won his first 2 matches. And even if he goes on to lose this match, if he's able to get 2 games when he loses the match, he'll definitely be in the thick of it for to advance to the finals.
I agree.
And if he happens to win this match, I don't see him staying out of the finals.
I agree with that, too. What a huge game he stole the first game. Well, people have been breaking from out there, and I've noticed the corner ball at times coming out. But he didn't allow that to happen.
I've noticed one thing, when Smith breaks the balls, when he leaves the table, the cue ball always ends up high on that side rail, close to that side pocket. And that's just the way he's been breaking the balls. And because the cue ball does end up that high, he takes away a lot of outs off of the break.
He takes away?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I think he gives up more, because I had a couple shots to get out of his break because it was higher. I think it works both ways there with what you're saying. Alex is off. He had a good bank there.
I just think he hit that bank too hard. He wanted to stick around the pocket, representing a threat for Smith. Now Smith can do
He may have hit
a number of different things.
He may have hit it too hard, Billy, but he didn't even hang the ball up. He had a good angle, you could tell. He can do a number of things, but it's semi-limited. Looks can be deceiving, and at this point, I don't see anything great that he has. Oh, he can play this. He can play the 7 into the 9. Or even not, but just stick him. Oh, that's good. Very good. Alex is going to have to take a foul into the top right-hand corner. Push, or he can come off the 14 and triple him up.
If he can hit the 14, he can do that. But the cue ball is going to be tracking toward that corner pocket. So he has to be pretty careful with the cue ball here.
I guess he can hit the whole 14. He's coming down below the 11.
Oh, he can come down, huh?
Wow. Unbelievable. Well, that changes things, Bill. Right?
Yeah, it certainly did change things. I thought that he was in a lot more trouble.
He got a ball to his
in.
side. He got the 14 to the top left side of the table, which is big because he can't see that whole ball. I'm taking a look at it right now, and so is Danny. Well, what's he doing? He's removing the 3 and 2 and sticking the cue ball right there on the bottom of the 11, just like this. I thought that was a nice shot.
Pagulayan's looking at the 10 like he wants to attack it.
No, I think he was looking to see if the 7 was dead. He's going to kick behind the 9 here. And the 9 is going to go into the pack. He needs to watch this cue ball. Oh, wow, look at this shot. I don't think the people understood how highly elevated that shot was.
Yeah, that was a pretty creative shot right there.
Shoot the 3 here, Billy?
I think he can shoot the 3 with some speed here.
Right. And punch the cue ball down?
Yeah, just punch it down to that, at least to the side rail, and get it around that center diamond to this on the side rail. And I think he's got to hit it with some speed. Give himself a chance to put some balls by his pocket, or possibly even make one.
So Billy's talking about playing the 3-2 rails into the bottom of the 7 or straight into it.
As long as you can control the cue ball, whatever angle you shoot it at that will control the cue ball, hit it with some speed. Give yourself a chance to get some positive action with the balls.
Into the bottom of the 7, just like I said, he didn't get the action he really would have liked. Alex is taking a look at the cross on the 11. I believe he can cross the 11 ball. As a matter of fact, I know he can because I have a look at it. Why wouldn't he cross the 11 here?
Maybe he hasn't taken a look at it. He was too focused on the bank on the 14. Now he's taking a look at your shot.
At the 11.
And that's what he's going to shoot, because now he's measuring and seeing if he has room for it to go.
Well, he does have room for it to go, and he's playing a good cue ball here. The cue ball is going to react the right way and grazing the backside of the 3, coming over the side rail, unless he wants to go directly at it and full into the 3. Watch the cue ball here.
I think he's going to play all 11 ball here. The cue ball will naturally, he wanted to make the ball. I like going into the 3.
Nothing goes. He just made an action like nothing goes.
Yeah, I liked going into the 3.
I agree.
Myself.
I agree. I thought he was.
If nothing goes, he's going to probably have to cut the 3.
Oh. I don't know what he's looking at there. He's looking at the 12, 13, 10.
Well, he's going to go into the 3. That 3 shoots to 12. I think he's going to brush the 3 with the cue ball.
You got to be careful. If you hit it full, you're scratching.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He's right.
What about the 4-1?
I don't think the 4's on the table. Was the 4 on the table?
Top right-hand corner.
Oh, no, that's no good. There's nothing there.
Well, there's a...
He may end up cutting the 3 here.
Well, it doesn't even go.
No, it doesn't have to go.
You're talking about cutting the 3 and putting him in front of his pocket.
Putting the 3 by the pocket, putting the cue ball
up by the side
on the rail, by the diamond, a diamond short of the side.
This is risky, I think. Oh wow. Yes.
Well, he really didn't do much there. The ball's kind of like tied up on his side. I think the 3 was a better shot than that.
I agree. And he's got to be careful here because the 10 does go off the 5 and 8, and Alex shoots those shots very well. He goes up table towards the 14. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, but to shoot that shot, the cue ball's going to go into the 2. I don't think he can risk that.
He can play it with draw.
Well, still very risky regardless of what type of a cue ball he plays.
He's playing the 7-15. Watch this shot. A lot of balls coming towards his pocket. A lot of balls coming towards his pocket.
And that's a very nicely executed shot. Pagulayan's looking at the carom 13 into the 10, but that's too heavy. That's not available. The cue ball's positioned very close to that side cushion. Always a good thing.
He is
if you're not the shooter.
Right. He's not thinking clear at all. He just looked at the 9 like he wanted to bank the 9. That's a no-go. Now, this is a good shot here. Watch the cue ball go into the 15 at the same time banking the 7.
Well, he's got to Good stroke there.
Wow.
Yeah, he controlled the cue ball
He
really
sure did.
nicely.
He sure did. Tough shot what he just did, folks, for you folks at home. When you're on the rail like he was, it's tough to hold your cue ball within a foot. And that's what he did. This is trouble for Danny here. I don't see a good way out of this.
Well, he might be able to come off the 2 and put him behind the 9 here.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Good call, Billy.
Well, he can. I don't know what he can see here. If he can hit the bottom of the 12,
He can.
put him on the 7.
I like your shot more. I like your shot a lot more. Alex is running to the table. Seems like his pace is off. I know his game as good as anybody. Just doesn't seem like something's clicking with him. Probably the same thing as me. We played about 100 hours of pool last week. Look at this. He almost made it for him. He's laughing. Yeah, but he's not really happy. He had a good shot there, didn't he, Billy? Could have gone into the 15. He had a real good bank. He was traveling right to the bottom of the 15.
It looked like he did. That's why he showed that disgusting laugh that he had. You know, that was a laugh of disgust.
Right.
And he was really unhappy with the execution of a possible winning shot.
Look at this shot, Billy. He could play the 8. He could play the 8 2 rails, and the cue ball 2 rails under the 9.
I mean, under the 7. That was pretty nice. It didn't look like it was much, but I think it got a lot done. He positioned the 8 on his side on the rail.
Absolutely.
Positioned the cue ball very close to the 10, cut off the side of the table. So therefore, he got a lot done with the shot. Pagulayan's not rushing to shoot anything.
I don't know. Pagulayan looks like he's rushing to shoot everything. His tempo just isn't the same tempo that I see. He was trying to jack him up there.
Well, Smith is going for the 15, no question about this. I mean, he's got a legitimate shot here. I know that the cue ball may be a problem, but the shot for him, I think, plays pretty easy.
Well, all 6 players here can make this ball pretty easy. Okay, it's not just him. That's number 1. Number 2, Alex was trying to get under the 4 and 1. I don't think he was trying to jack him up. The odds of that are rare. He's going to go into the top of the 3 here and come away with a good shot on the 5.
I think he's going to hit it with some speed here.
He is. Oh, wow. The 3 kissed the 5 out.
He got a shot. He's got a shot, not one that he likes all that much, but well enough. He likes it enough to shoot it.
Oh, he'll be shooting this.
And once again, he's going to have a fast cue ball here, so strange things could happen. So buckle your seatbelt because he's cutting at it.
He is cutting at it, and obviously the cue ball is going into the 13, it looks like to me on the screen. You catch it the wrong way, there's a possibility of a scratch in that right-hand side pocket.
Let's keep this angle right here. That's a good angle on the monitor. Missed it.
Wow. He tried to control the cue ball. See, on a shot like that, I know you've watched me shoot that shot, Billy, and I'm not boasting on my game because by no means am I doing any damage here, though. But if I shoot that shot and I know I'm going into balls, I'm going to play that ball with center ball and make sure I pocket the ball.
Oh, absolutely. Whenever you're undecided on how to play the shot because of the cue ball, you're not quite sure where the cue ball is going. You know you're going to shoot the shot, then you got to play all shot.
That's exactly right.
If you're undecided where the cue ball is going because the unpredictableness of the shot in terms of the controlling the cue ball. Go for the ball.
And just know you're going to make the ball.
Stay in control of the
Right.
table.
That's right. Look at this now. Alex shoots his first shot and gets jacked up. Oh, wow. Well, really good stroke there.
Nicely executed.
I think we're going to have a hill-hill match, Billy. As a matter of fact, I would bet my beef stroganoff on it. The ball count. Alex has 1. I can't see what Danny has.
I think Alex has 4 now.
Well, he has 1 in his tray is what I'm saying. Okay, Alex has 4. And Danny Smith has 1. Oh, boy, he just about missed that ball.
Yeah, he needed the entire pocket there. He needs 3 balls.
Well, Alex is breaking. This was a huge game. Obviously, this was the only game left to win for Alex.
Yeah, Danny had this game.
Yes, he did.
He had this game, and he should have put more concentration,
On
more
pocketing the ball.
focus on making sure he hit the edge of that 10 ball, because that's what he needed to hit
Absolutely.
to put it down. He didn't do that. He let Pagulayan at the table, and he ran out on him. That's game number 4. The match is tied up 2 games apiece. This will be the final game of today's session. Hill, Pagulayan, and Smith, and it's been a good match.
Who's the pressure on here, Billy? Danny Smith, obviously, correct? I mean, Danny Smith hasn't lost a match.
Well, obviously the pressure's on Smith for many, many reasons. First, the pressure's on Smith because he still hasn't proven that he belongs.
Right.
Okay? If he can defeat Pagulayan in this match, that'll be another feather in his cap, and he'll start walking like he's a winner, thinking like he's a winner.
Talking.
But if he loses this match, it could hurt him bad going forward.
I agree.
Yeah, this was a big match for him. Plus, if he wins this match, he more or less got his ticket into the finals, because he'll be 3-0 with 2 matches left. And it looks like to me that a 3-2 record is going to be bidding to get into the finals, with the exception of possibly a tiebreaker possibility that may keep him out if he doesn't accumulate enough games in the next 2 matches.
I agree. I'll tell you what Alex did also when we played last week is he started emulating my break, and he started using it better than me. He's had a hard time here controlling the corner ball on the opposite side. Well, he didn't have a hard time there, did he?
You see, that's why I don't like the cue ball to stay too low on the
I
break.
see.
Because you just make it easier for your opponent to get out of the break. I like the cue ball up higher on the rail and close to the rail.
Speaking of a break, Billy, that's what the players are doing. We'll be back in just a couple seconds.
Okay, we're back. Danny Smith's at the table. The match is tied up 2 games apiece. A lot of pressure on Danny Smith right here. He's 2-0 in matches won. If he could somehow win this match, that'll be his ticket into the finals, I think.
Yes, he's tied with Heffern Rays. I don't know who took the break, but if it was Danny, I think it's a good choice. Alex broke the balls, and you can best assure that Alex is going to keep the pressure on him. Danny's got a shot here, Billy. I just noticed. Look at this. Look at the screen. He can shoot the 9 and play the cue ball right on top of the 7 and 8, moving balls to his pocket. Or he can double them up, but I like sticking them. I don't know. Oh, we got a good rub off the 2. You got a real good rub off the 2. If the 2 is not froze, there's only 1 shot here, and that's a soft kick behind the 2.
And you gotta like what he did too. I think by going up table, he was able to get more balls to his side.
Right, more action.
Yeah.
You better hope
Watch
that
the double
rolls
kiss.
straight.
Watch the double kiss here. Oh, but it wasn't hard enough.
I don't know if he can see the 12. Doesn't. What good does that do him? No good, right? To see the 12, this ball.
Well, I mean, if he can see the underside of it, it might do him some good. But he could.
The 4 does not pass the 14. I'm taking a look at that. I'm talking about in Alex's pocket. So Danny could take a foul back up into that corner, but the problem with that shot is
he's going to kick on him again.
That's right. He's going to kick on him again.
So he's going to be in the same spot.
What's he doing here?
Maybe he's going into the 3 off of 13.
That's no good. That's better. But
Well, he's going to kick again.
He's going to kick again.
Now, if he could have shot to 13 and then went into the 3,
right?
The 4 doesn't go,
right?
So it could have worked out.
Right.
It could have worked out for him.
I like that more
because
than what he
now
did.
when he kicks again, he may not have that opportunity.
I agree. I like that shot for sure. Alex has such good touch. You can expect this ball to even be better than it was before,
and it is better. See, now he's in a worse spot now than he was last time. I think he could have cut the 13, billiarded into the 3 with the cue ball, and I think that he could have gotten away from it temporarily and gave Alex another picture to look at.
I agree.
Because Alex already went to school on that kick, and obviously he learned from it, because now Smith is in a much worse position.
I agree, Billy. So what now, Billy? If he takes, he's looking at the foul.
Well, here's what I like. Here's what I like. I like shooting the 2 this way and going this way with the cue ball. Now, nothing goes.
Yes.
And plus, he's in a more difficult position. Now, if he kicks this way...
Oh, I like that a lot because that takes away the kick, too.
Right, yeah. Now, this way, he's going to kick again.
That's exactly right.
So, therefore, he didn't learn from the last time he did this.
Absolutely right.
You want to position the cue ball on the other side of the table, not that side of the table.
I like that shot that you called. I really do. Well, this requires better speed, though, Billy. He needs to make a full hit here. If he doesn't make a full hit like this, well, he got away with it. He got away with it. I mean, he didn't, but he did. Now, Danny is out of, so to speak, jail. He can kick one rail below the 14.
But now, in retrospect, as you look back, if the cue ball was positioned on the other side of the table as opposed to where he took his intentional to, what is Alex going to do?
Nothing. And he's going to force him to go into some balls. So you're absolutely right. And I really, really like that shot. And I didn't see that shot.
Okay, now Smith does have an out, but it cost him a ball in a mistake by Alex to get it. That doesn't happen that often. Mistakes by Alex, that is.
Well, is he coming off the 2 or kicking the 14? I don't know about kicking the 14. I wouldn't want to move that 14. Okay, that's smarter, but he hit it weak. Oh, he moved the 14 too. Now the 4 passes.
But you know what? I mean, it may have been worth it because what are you going to do? I mean,
here he can go rail first on the 2 and put him back where he was.
But that shot sometimes produces a scratch because you go through the ball. It's there. I understand the shot you're talking about hit the rail before the 2 ball.
The ticky.
Yeah, it's a ticky, but sometimes you hit it and you go through the ball and scratch.
What's he doing here? He needs to be careful. Danny will swing at the fences.
He's going up table. Oh, he's going around.
He's watching me play too much. He's not happy with it. I don't know why he's not happy with it. I guess the reason he's not happy with it is because the 6 and 13 is tied up. But I wouldn't be too upset with that shot because Danny has nothing. That was a nice shot, right?
Yeah, sure. It looked like one.
Out of my playbook.
I like to get the angle behind the cue ball the way Danny's addressing the table. Can we get that angle? Is it possible? I don't think it's possible. I don't believe we have a camera over there. We have a camera over there?
Yes, we do.
Let's get back at Danny. Let me take a look at that angle. That's the angle. That's the angle. Yeah, now he's got...
Keep that shot.
Yeah.
He's got a kick into the 14 here.
I
he grazed the wrong ball. I don't...
But that's okay.
It is okay.
He locked up the cue ball on top of the 14, making it difficult for Pagulayan, regardless of what shot he chooses to shoot.
Alex has still got this ticky, Billy, and the scratch is not on. If you look at the 2-ball on the rail, there's no way that this. I shoot the shot really well. That ticky's good, and the 10 does not bank. What I'm saying and what I mean for the people at home is you can go below the 2 playing the cue ball like a billiard shot into the rail, into the 2, back into the rail, and the cue ball comes up. I don't like this, Billy, because if you put this guy up here anywhere, he's going to cut the 12 ball. He's in a bad spot. This is no good. Wow.
He's taking a scratch
here.
here.
Hit that any better. I mean, that's maybe the only spot Danny won't shoot it from. But he's looking at it, and that's how close it is, because here's the thing. If he hits it a little fat, Billy, it'll go off the 2.
Oh, he's a distance from that ball.
Yes.
That's a very difficult hit from where he is. I think that he's throwing his money in the air if he shoots that shot. And as well as he hits the edge of the ball, I still wouldn't even consider shooting that shot.
Well, you said as well as he hits the edge of the ball.
Right. I said even as well as he hits the edge of the ball, if I were he, I wouldn't consider shooting that shot.
That's better. Yeah, he doesn't like it. Alex hit that. He couldn't have executed that foul any better.
Well, he may be better off just giving him the 14 here. You know, he can give him the 14. Yeah, he can give him the 14.
Oh, he sure can.
I think he should consider giving him the 14 here.
He's looking at my shot. I don't like the shot. There's no future in it anyway.
No.
Let's say he makes it. I mean, he might get 1 or 2.
Let's come down here. Take a look at it from this angle. He can give him the 14. He has a clear path to the 14.
Right.
I don't even know if he knows it's available.
He doesn't. He's not looking at it. Yeah,
I think
he's frustrated.
I think he sees it.
He's going. He's going. He doesn't see it, Billy.
I think he has to look at it.
He's going to his pocket. He never looked at the 14. I think he's got a chance to make this. I'd say he's 60-40, 60 favored.
Wow, he cut it right in. That's how well he hits balls. He cut that right in, didn't play the carom.
Well, look at this.
And didn't get a shot. Whenever you make a shot like that and don't come up with a shot, that's what you call an injustice. Trust me, he deserved to come up with a shot. What kind of reward did he get? None.
Listen, I was right. I knew he was cutting that ball. I knew he was cutting that ball. And if he happened to hit it a tad thick, the way the 2-ball was laying, he had a big pocket there. I didn't like anywhere Alex put him up table, and I've said that from the beginning of this game. He could have ticky-tickied off the 2 and put him back, leaving him a blocked bank on the 10, and Alex chose to leave him long. Danny did get a terrible, well, what's he? Rubby.
What's
and
going to happen?
This and tied it up, too.
Tying it up.
That's even worse.
Gives Alex...
there might be only one person on this planet luckier than Efren, and it's the guy that's at the table.
Why is he 0-2 then?
Well, I'm just calling it like I see it.
If he was 2-0,
Well,
that would have been a better statement.
The 12 ball is wired.
No, nothing wired. It's 4.
Why do you always...
it's 3 inches apart.
It's wired.
Wired. I love it when you guys say that something's wired, that you got to make a good shot to make it. He can miss it about 30 different ways. Wired. And then the cue ball tracking toward the pocket.
I just told you, Billy, that Danny would make the 12. He made the 12.
So, what does that have to do with your next call?
He's going to make the 12. I'll bet he makes the 12.
If it's wired, he should make it.
That's right, and he will. And not only that, he'll probably come behind the 11 and 2 and win the game from it.
He's going. I don't think he's going to make it, number one. And I think he's going to come behind 11-2. Okay?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So there you go. You got unlucky again.
He hit that ball pretty poor.
Are you telling me that he can't make anything?
Of course he can. He's straight in. This is a trick shot here.
Let's take a look at this shot.
Yeah, I suspect Danny's out.
Nice angle.
Yeah. Well, it's all in Danny Smith's hands now.
Yeah, he would like to end up with a nice angle on the 3 to go into the 1 next, I think.
Oh, he can come over for the 2.
I don't know about that. I kind of like going up for the 3, then cutting the 3 and going into the 1. Now he's got to use the bridge. Oh, there's extension.
All of us have those nowadays, Bill.
And the bridge.
Well,
you know, there's no guarantee he's going to come up with another shot if he puts
he's getting a shot on the 4. He's guaranteed to get a shot on the 4. He's coming to the back of the 10.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the ball count.
Alex owes 1.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12. He has 3 balls. He's playing for 5. I see the 4's 3, 115.
I believe that Danny is going to get out here. Doesn't want to get straight. Well,
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he still has a workable angle. He would like to come across in between the 1 and the 5, straight in on the 1. He wants to get straight in on the 1. It's a little lazy.
That's no
a
good.
little lazy.
Yeah, that's big because all the balls are on Alex's side. I don't care that Alex owes 1 or not. You need to be very careful here. Like Billy says, that's a little lazy. You want to make sure you get all the way over because even if he gets too low on the 1, he's got the 15.
Exactly. So he played the unprofessional side of that particular
He's
shot.
looking at banking the 6 here, Billy. What?
I don't like this shot because with inside English, you spin into the 14 and you're done.
Yeah, you get no more. Okay, but he gets no more.
Well, you know what he can do now? He can shoot the 8 and stick right there.
Oh, wow. You sure can.
He can shoot
when
the
it's
8.
going your way, it's going your way.
Shoot the 8 and stick right there, and then Pagulayan must accommodate him to put balls out of play. This is a big shot right here. As meaningless as it seems, it's a huge shot.
It's a huge shot, and it's laying dead perfect. He can actually make this ball. He doesn't want to make this ball, but he can make this ball. Alex needs 9. Danny Smith needs 2. Now, he did his job.
And if that ball happens to end up in front of the pocket, Pagulayan's got big-time problems.
Well, he's got big-time problems anyway, Billy.
Well, he could always, play a good cue ball now, but if they would have ended up by the pocket, there's nothing that he could have done.
I agree. And what Billy's saying is if Alex can get the cue ball to the left side of the table somehow, some way, he's still got a little bit of chance. But he's jumping up on every shot. He just does not look like the same Alex that I saw a week ago.
Okay, now, if I were Smith, I would shoot that 10, clear some balls.
That's a heartbreaker.
Lay that cue ball down on the rail.
Absolutely, that's a heartbreaker.
I wouldn't be banking no 12 or 13 on that side of the table and give Alex a cross corner bank. I'd be shooting that 10 ball right now.
And you know what, Billy? He's shooting your shot, and that's a heartbreaker. That'll take all the air out of Alex. Well, he didn't do anything.
Well, he laid the cue ball down pretty good. He did that.
Yeah, but Alex can bank this 5 towards his pocket, play the cue ball over.
Well, that may scratch too. That looks like a possible scratch, so he's not going to be
No, he's going to hit it. Yeah, you're possibly right.
in a hurry to do that. Yeah. Smith obviously would like to move a couple balls, but his plan is a good one.
I don't like this at all. And Alex doesn't either. I believe that Danny can twist bank this into the 8. And I'm talking about the 14. If we could get a view from the right side, like from the right-hand corner pocket, if we could get a view from there, we go. That's the view I'm talking about. Nice view. It looks. You understand?
Yeah, I don't like shots like this because you can leave a return bank. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to give Pagulayan a shot, a bank, or anything. I don't mind 3 railing it out of there, or I don't mind coming off the 13 or the 9, just getting some balls out of play. I like getting balls out of play here.
I agree 1,000%, but I'm telling you about the way he's thinking.
Well,
he's thinking here he can make this 8 ball.
Then he better stick him on the 15. Just like that.
Well, that's toast.
Now, if he stuck him on the 15, that's okay. But if you can't stick him on the 15, I'm not shooting that shot.
Well, he did. I believe he did. I see space, but I don't think Alex can get under the 8. I don't think Alex can.
Well, he's going to have to kick cross table then under the 14.
Wow.
Okay, now he should kick the 8 in here.
Kick the 8 in.
I think so.
If you look on your screen, there's pretty good space between there.
I think I kicked the 8 in here. Steal this ball.
Okay. I agree. If it's a big favorite to make, then Alex will need all the balls plus 1 on the table. Well, he made it. Danny Smith needs 1 ball.
Okay, now that 14 actually is a ball that favors Pagulayan. I wouldn't be opposed to moving it.
Explain why it favors Pagulayan.
Because it's
I'm talking for the crowd.
It's a ball that Pagulayan can start a run with.
That's right. Well, he did that well.
Well, if you can move balls and control the cue ball as well as he did, then it's okay. But if controlling the cue ball is sort of like suspect, then you have to move to 14.
I agree. Well, keeping Danny off a shot here is really going to be hard. And Danny has no problem putting these up table. For you folks at home, you're most likely experienced one-pocket players. But when you have a ball lead like this, your object and only object is getting the balls up table.
No, he can't leave him a right back bank. He doesn't want to leave him a straight back bank, and he hasn't. He protected the 5 and also the 9, if that was available. I don't believe it is. So now Pagulayan is forced to accommodate Smith, sending more balls up table and out of play. Now it's starting to look pretty bleak for Pagulayan, who owes a ball, and Smith only needs 1.
Yes, it is.
So what started out as a surprise in day number 1, with Smith winning his first match, is no longer a surprise because Smith, as we can all see, is certainly a credible player, and he can beat anybody in the world, which he's proven in his first 2 matches, and obviously with a win here, he'll prove it again.
Terrible, terrible decision, Billy.
I don't understand what goes through a man's mind.
You know I would never bank that ball. This is what his weakness is in the game.
I mean, I don't know, because he's been playing pretty deliberate, and to shoot a ball that carried the degree of difficulty of that bank, with the consequence of leaving, 2, 3, 4 balls for his opponent, while he's got him in a stranglehold. I don't think I would have done that.
No, and you really don't want to do it against this guy. But that's Danny's weakness, and to give him credit like you have, Billy, yes, he can beat anybody in the world. I think he's got a little ways to go as far as brushing up on his up-table game. But other than that, he executes as good as anybody on the planet and better than most. His decision-making at the wrong times is what he's been struggling with in the past, and he's working on it for the future. And I, for one, want to see him succeed more than anybody. But I really hate, I don't, if he wins the match, he wins the match, but I don't want to see somebody shooting a shot like that after he's played as smart as he's played. Am I wrong?
I thought he played a really good match.
Right.
But I was really surprised to see him shoot the shot that he just shot.
Well, look at here. Alex is going to get, like you said, at least 4 balls from this.
And you mentioned before the match began that it's so difficult to beat Pagulayan because he has no give up in him. You know, and when you're playing a guy like that, you really can't give him air. Despite the fact that you feel that you may have him against the ropes, you know what? You got to be able to put him away. And you don't put guys like Pagulayan away shooting shots like the 10-ball bank.
And you've taught me a lot about that. And my up-table game's improved a ton from you getting on me about stuff like that. And there is no room for error against other top players. You have to put them away. And what Billy means by that is find a safety, find something to where, you know, if you leave Alex a bank or something like that, that's much different. But you don't shoot at a long rail bank knowing that if you miss the bank, you're going to leave your opponent a shot. You can't afford to do that. And what happens is you give your opponent life. Now look at Alex. He's really feeling like, hey, I know I need all these balls, but I've got a chance. Which, as opposed to earlier, he had no chance. And then you can see the emotion on Danny, too. He's walking a little slower. He's probably not too happy about his decision. Everything changes in the game.
Now, he has a two-railer on the 13. Whether he chooses to shoot it or not, I don't know. But he does have a two-railer on the 13.
And you're talking about playing the cue ball still down here at the bottom rail, hitting with speed, correct?
Well,
you don't want to send the cue ball up table and leave Alex a cut on the 10. He's not shooting it now. He's not shooting it.
A little bit of an unorthodox stroke for that type of a shot. I didn't totally understand why he chose to elevate with that particular
Right, he
shot.
could have gone to the side rail and back down, but
and after he shot it, it looked a little risky to me. But I guess he understands the shot. There are certain shots that look risky or unorthodox to some players, but yet to the player that shoots it, it doesn't look like that way at all.
I like this shot.
That's good speed.
Alex isn't happy about it. I like the shot. I mean, you're not going to keep the guy off of 5 balls. You had to do something there. He was actually in a tricky little situation. I like the shot. If Danny banks the 9 in and wins the game, so be it. But this is also risky. Danny, this is a position, Billy, where Danny refuses to play safe.
Well, you know, I like this shot a heck of a lot more than I like that Tenny shot.
This ball is going to be close. He hit it short.
And it got in a position where Pagulayan cannot bank it.
He's going to have to 3-rail this 9 out.
He's looking at banking the 13 and following through the ball, but that's really a losing shot. But the problem he has is not only clearing the 9, but not giving up a shot on the 13 bank.
He's banking the 13. This is suicide. Okay. I like that.
Yes.
I like that. You know, funnier things have happened Alex needs 9. Danny Smith needs 1. Alex is waiting around for a scratch or something like that.
Let's get an overhead here. If he can somehow position the cue ball on the side rail right here, 1 diamond up on the other side of the side pocket, he takes away that cross corner bank on the 9.
Well, he's going to win the game with the 2-rail bank. Danny Smith. Oh, that ball. Boy, I thought he made that ball when he hit it, Billy. I like that shot, too, because he knew the cue ball was going over there to a safe zone. Nicely struck. Nicely struck. It's going to be hard for Danny to hold his composure as far as shooting at his pocket. You can see him looking like he wants to bank the 13 here, and I don't think it's on. Do you?
No, it's pretty close, you know. I mean, he can't bank it with any speed because we haven't mishit it, and the 13 hits the 10. It could end up in front of Pagulayan's pocket.
That's right.
So a lot of bad things can happen with the shot, and that's not something he should be looking for. He should be looking for something that's pretty solid and secure, not something that's like up in the air.
I like just cutting the 13 over by the 10 and playing the cue ball over towards the 15.
Well, he's in a bad position. Cue ball frozen almost on the center of that rail.
He needs to be careful. He does not want to scratch.
No, I don't mind this shot because I don't mind giving him a shot on the bank on the 13, but I don't want to pocket the 15.
Of course not.
I don't mind giving him a shot on the 13 because he's really not a favorite to make the bank, and he may leave a return bank. So that's the kind of game I'd want to play if I was Smith, ball for ball.
Danny acted like the table may have rolled off. He wasn't trying to pocket that ball. Well, Alex is crossing this. This could be a game losing or winning shot, and it definitely wasn't a winning.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
Well, I kind of like Danny from here for sure.
Yeah, he's straight in on the 10.
Oh, I don't know if he'll shoot the 10. I might maybe consider banking that 15. I think banking that 15 is a better shot.
I agree with you. Then he has no risk as far as the cue ball, but he wants to shoot the 10. I like the 10 too. It's whatever the player feels. It's a pretty big pocket. It's going to accept the ball. All he's got to do is pocket this, and Danny Smith will be, like you say, Billy, guaranteed into the finals. And good for him. He deserves it. He overcut it, Billy.
I don't like that shot.
Ball.
I didn't like the shot. I like banking the 15.
I agree with you.
No.
I agree with you 100%.
And not because he missed it. I didn't like it before he shot it.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
You know?
Look at this. Now, this kid, you don't want to leave this kid long because he's pocketing the ball. And he's got a chance to get within 2 balls.
Well, you got to go round table here.
He wanted him to wipe the cue ball off. I tell you.
I think you got to go round table.
Yeah.
Maybe not. It's right on that line. You can hold it if you stroke it good with outside English.
What about banking the 13?
No, I don't think he's looking to do that.
Well, he can't hold it, Billy. The angle is too stiff to hold it. He's looking to bank the 13, Billy. Okay, you're right. He's going to play the 10, but I think he's got to come around.
Either come around or hold it. And sometimes you can hold balls like this with a nice stroke. Yeah, so he can. Well, you know, he can bank the 1 here. Nope, he can't bank the 1.
But he's happy with this. I mean, right?
Well, you know he's going to overcut this ball here. I don't know if he should even shoot it. If he has any shot on the 1 at all, he should shoot it.
He's going to overcut what ball?
This one here.
How do you know?
Because if you undercut it, you lose.
Well, what if he just makes it in the pocket?
Yeah, well, that's always good. But if he does anything, he's going to overcut it like that.
You know, Billy, you are smart. I'm very blessed to have you in my corner sometimes.
Yeah. You know, this is a crucial time in the match, and you really can't shoot a shot in a fashion that if you happen to miss it on a certain side, you lose. If you're going to miss it, you'd rather miss it on the professional side. And then if that's the case, that's what you usually do. You usually miss it, and you miss it on the right side.
Well, Alex is happy that the 9 got where it did. I can tell you that.
Oh, he can't afford to bank this 13.
No, but why can't he roll up on the 1?
He can do that, but he can't afford to bank the 13. And sometimes you feel that, hey, I got a good bank on the 13 or a decent bank.
He can't afford to do that.
But when you go into the 1 and the 9, you don't know what's going to happen. And not only do you run the risk of leaving a return back on the 13, but you also run the risk of leaving another shot as well.
That's exactly right. He's going into the 1.
Yeah, I like this. And you have to open up those balls at some point anyways.
Well, we've got a game, folks. Alex obviously still needs all 3 balls, but at one point in this game, Danny needed 1 and Alex needed 9. They were all up table.
I don't understand why he didn't shoot off the 1 from the other angle, bring the cue ball down table.
Long.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you want to leave him long. You give him a better chance of hitting the ball bad.
Well, Danny, I mean, I'm not knocking Danny. We're good friends, and I've helped him a lot. But when the balls...
Watch the cue ball. Does it have the speed to reach the pocket? It did.
When the balls get in positions like this, Danny feels like he has to shoot. He starts to panic. This is something that he's been working on.
He's going to bank the 1 here.
That's what I said.
But he has to hit it thickly because
he could scratch.
He could scratch here.
Cross corner.
Right in, he could scratch if he hits it thin.
Oh, goodness. He hit it thin, so thin that he almost scratched in the other corner. Now he's throwing his cue up in the air, and he is not thrilled with his position at this point in time. And you can best believe that this kid's going to get this 1 ball close. Like, close enough to where Danny doesn't have a bank.
Once again, he wants to hit the thin side of the 1. This is another one of those situations where if you hit it too thickly, you lose. So therefore, you must hit it thin enough to either make it or overcut it. And usually when you think that way, you usually overcut it.
You're absolutely right. You've got to think to make this ball here.
But I think he's going to make the ball.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. Well, he did. Well, he's got nothing. He's got nothing here. But he did what he wanted to do. He made the ball, and he's 1 step closer to tying this game up, which is unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, I mean, Danny has, done a couple things in this game that's going to really hurt him if he goes on to lose this match.
Yeah, it'll hurt him. This is no good.
I think he's going to cut at this.
Of course he's going to cut at it, Billy. He wanted to put him on top of the 9.
He's going to cut at this.
Here's what was weak about that shot. Why didn't he just roll that ball up into the pocket to the top rail first? He's got a free cut at this ball.
Score is now 7-6.
He's got a free cut at this ball.
Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, he does have a pocket to scratch in. Even though the 9's in front of it, the cue ball can find that path into the pocket.
He made it.
Well, it wasn't exactly the way he planned it, but he got there. So Danny Smith has played 3 matches, and he's won all 3 of them. So the kid can flat out play. He just needs to corral that energy and control some of that aggression.
I agree 100%. He's up there practicing the bank that he just missed, or that he sold out on to begin with. Go ahead, Billy.
Okay, we're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, and Saturday's schedule. At noon, Scott Frost is going to play Danny Smith. And
No, I'm not playing Danny Smith. I played Danny Smith today.
Well, why do I have you playing him again? How can you put Saturday's schedule with the wrong names up here? Anyways, I'm going to close it out. Tune in tomorrow and find out who's playing. See you all tomorrow. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the Zero Flex Point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.